There is a clear and present danger to believing in slot myths, and it could be the leading reason why you are losing more than you should. Maybe you're one of those people that feels like a particular time of day is better to play slots, or that your player's card affects the gameplay of the machine. The list really goes on. In today's video, we're covering why believing in those myths could be causing you to walk in and spend more than you should and leave with a lot less. Welcome back, everybody, to the Cowboy Slot Channel, where we bring you experienced advice from years of working in the casinos, tips, reviews, and so much more. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell to stay notified for when we come out with future episodes. Now, this video is really important. It's one of the main reasons why our channel exists, and that is to break through all of these myths and to provide you guys with tips and advice that's technical based that can actually help you when you're in the casino. So I highly encourage you to watch this entire video and then also share it, as it does contain a lot of valuable information. Now, we are going to cover this video in 3 parts. The first part being, where did all of these myths exactly come from and why do people believe so strongly in them? The second part being some examples of certain myths that are out there and how believing in those myths are actually harming your gameplay. And the third being what you can do to be better and how facts will actually help to better your slot play. Before we dive into those 3 parts, I'm going to start by giving you some background on myself, Mark, and this channel. Now, Mark and myself are not just slot technicians, but combined together, we have a total of 20 years of experience working actually in the industry and working with slot machines. We both have not only real-world experience in the front of the house, but also the back of the house, all of those secret rooms that people like to talk about on the internet. We speak with and interview industry professionals on a regular basis, stay current on industry technologies, and we are actually trained professionals in this field. Long story short, this is our job, this is our career. We're not here to just provide you guys with guesses or what we think, but rather factual information on just exactly how the industry works and slot machines work. Our YouTube channel is all about providing facts and not guesses. So let's start it off with part number 1. Where did all of these myths come from and why do people believe so strongly in them? Well, for this one, we can actually do a rollback in history and look at the industry all the way up until today with social media and corporate transparency. These myths have been stemmed from the fact that the casino industry for almost its entire being has been so secretive and sealed off from the public. Anyone that's outside of the casino's operation really would not know all of the details and aspects that go into it. This, of course, left people to make up their own determinations about what goes on and how these things work. Also, the casino industry really did not get started on the right foot. It was pretty much a lawless free-for-all for the longest period of time, leading to a lot of distrust and giving it a bad reputation. Fast forward to today, it's the most highly regulated industry, regulated more so than alcohol and tobacco. Just like with any industry, and I want you to pause for a moment and think about the industry that you're in or were in. If you look back in the course of history at, say, the 1920s for that industry, any industry at all, compared to today, you can see a major difference in how the industries are handled. Today, with social media and the internet, corporations and industries are looking for that corporate transparency. And while the casinos have been very slow to adopt this, they are getting a lot better at it with time. Casinos, more so today than ever, are trying to promote responsible gambling and more transparency with the public. So that is where all of the myths came from. It was the lack of transparency, the lack of knowledge. It's not really the fault of the players for believing in these myths. Since this did go on for decades, there are generations of people that have been told these myths their entire lives. And we all know it is very difficult for people to change. It's very hard for people to try to understand something or change their mindset after being told their entire life something that was false. So why do people believe them? It's human nature and it's human psychology. As humans, we try to make connections and find outside reasons for situations that we face. Typically, it's not human nature to look inward when there's a problem, but rather to find blame or fault with something else. Since gambling is very psychological, it is an easy trap to fall into. Any psychologist would tell you that. I lost money today, but I won on Monday morning. Therefore, it was the casino. The casino changed something and did something. No, it didn't. That's not how the operations work. That's not how slot machines work. You just got unlucky that day. So moving on to part number 2, how dangerous are these myths? Why is there a danger in believing in these myths? Well, I'll give you kind of a series of examples of some common myths that go around and just exactly how they're dangerous. Maybe it'll give you kind of a new perspective to think on them. Let's start with that age-old myth of thinking that time of day or day of the week matters when playing slot machines. Say that you believe in this myth and you feel that you have to go in on a Monday morning because you feel that you're going to have a much better chance or that your chances are going to be any different. Believing in this myth is probably the most dangerous myth to believe in because it is encouraging players to play more because they feel that their chances are increased. By doing this, you're going to find yourself spending a lot more money or chasing your losses because you have it stuck in your head that your chances are better, so you think that you're going to win. People that believe in this can lose track of their budget and lose focus and end up spending a lot more money based on a feeling and not based on actual logic. You're entering the dangerous sport of gambling with clouded judgment. Now let's tackle another myth of believing that your player's card affects the outcome of your game. Let's say you believe in this myth and you choose not to use your card. Well, you're losing out on a lot of benefits and perks that you are paying for at the casino. This is essentially like walking into a store, purchasing an item, and then walking out without that item. You've already paid for it, now you're just throwing it away. But you're also disregarding proper record keeping, especially at the end of the year with your win-loss statement. You're playing a game with your money and then not keeping track of it. This can in the end lead to financial harm on things like your taxes at the end of the year or any budgeting that you might be doing. All because you thought your card was going to influence your spin, which it doesn't and it can't. And that's the fact. So what about fast stopping the reels? How is that a negative myth? Well, fast stopping the reels is purely just an entertainment feature and it does not affect the outcome of the game in any way, shape, or form. So how's it dangerous? The danger in believing and doing this is a player is going to burn through money a lot faster, and also it's not going to give them time to actually think and process about what they're doing and where they're at with their bankroll. And I know many people out there say, well, it changes up the timing, but stop and think for a moment just how fast a microprocessor runs. Even if you were slapping as fast as you could possibly slap, in between lifting your hand and pushing the button, the microprocessor has made millions of calculations. You might think you're moving fast, but trust me, the computer is moving a lot faster. If you are really adamant about changing up your timing with the spin, guess what else changes up your timing? Slowing down or taking a break. That also changes up your timing. So if you really feel that your timing needs changed, do the opposite. Slow down. You don't need to speed up. Both of them are going to do the same thing. Myths and superstitions like this can have real life impacts on your judgment calls and your thinking. When you enter any game, especially a game where you're playing with your money, you want to enter it with a clear head and the ability to make rational decisions. Making decisions based on facts and not superstitions. So part 3, what can you do as a player? Change is hard, especially after decades of being told something false. For most, it is very difficult to accept. And the sad part is for many people, despite all of the proof and evidence provided, they will unfortunately still believe the myths. And unfortunate to them, they are going to lose more money in the long run, as opposed to somebody who chooses to learn and believe the facts over all of the superstitions and myths that have built up over the years. You may hear people say things like, I feel or I know, but the truth is that the facts of the operation do not change. The first step to being a better slot player, being a better gambler, is to understand the technical based facts of the game that you are playing and not believe in all of the myths and superstitions. Have an open mind and be able to learn and retain the facts and the truths behind the games. Always remember, and this is the most important part, gambling is extremely psychological and has a very strong pull on the emotions, even on the strongest of people. So you have to be able to admit that and realize it first before you can really start to become a better gambler. If you are looking to find help or become a better gambler, you need to make sure that you're getting your facts and your information from people that are actually in the industry that have real world experience actually doing the job itself. Because the people with that inside knowledge are going to know about all of the operational and mechanical aspects that happen behind the scenes that the public does not get to see. A smarter gambler is a better gambler. Check out our video library on YouTube for tons of videos that are technical based on factual information about the industry and about slot machines. The main point in this video is to really help those out there that have always believed in these myths to really open your eyes and start looking around and getting a more sense of how things actually work, because that's the only way that you can really become a better educated gambler. Give us a like, a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Check out these other videos and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more slot tips. It's always free. Visit ropethejackpot.com for free guides and a whole lot more. Catch you on the next episode.